So first, for the setup, we need to adjust the rails so they match and hug the action to the center. Place the bedding platforms in appropriate places so that they support the keyframe as it was in the piano. And one thing I might do is make sure my bench is lowered all the way. Has a little bit more to go. Makes it a little bit easier for me. And I have done quick measurements of the actions, 52 inches wide. So I've loosened up the slipper tracks and made them 52 inches wide. It has a curious back rail. Let's see if I can aim you at this, which the keys stick way out from. So the rail needs to be under the keyframe, and measuring that to between the pins of the sharps and naturals, you get 8 inches. And from that same point to the front of the keys is about 11 inches. Okay, I'm gonna hand you back. And so I've loosened the 5 places on the back rail and the front rail where they attach to the ribs. And I've backed them so that this is 11 inches and that is 8 inches. I moved the center bedding platforms off center so that I could access the screws to loosen them. And I've left the balance rail solid, because unless the action is so big that it requires a tilt of the balance rail, that has the nice feature of sort of self-compensation, and it's the strongest point because of the way it's constructed underneath. Okay, so let's see where we are and then we'll adjust from there. Now the stops on the back rail are up. And everything is fluid at the moment, so let's see what happens. When I push this back, they're getting caught on the bedding platforms, so I'll just raise the back rail just a little bit. And okay. Okay, so I'm aiming the balance rail of the custom key bed halfway in between the natural key pins and the sharp key pins. And I've pushed now the back rail in. Let's see, I'm gonna make sure. Now, there we go. It's quite a lot of weight on it. So I pushed it in so that stop bears against the back of the keyframe. Just check my position over here and do the same thing. There it goes. And might as well tighten some things down for those that are in the right place. So I can reach the slipper tracks and the back rail. Now what I can do is turn up the stops on the front rail. And just push it into place. And tighten it down. Now what I want is for the bedding platforms, and this one really lines up almost perfectly, just as it was sitting, so that on the base bedding platform, the base side of the wedge is lined up with the outside of the keyframe. That means that the outside of the keyframe has solid support right down through the elevator, the wedge, to the rail, to the rib, to the panel, and so forth. Do the same thing on the other side. Then I'm going to place the middle one in the middle and just estimate where halfway between those will be. About like that. When I tighten them down, I could tweak it. And the same on the back rail. And do as much in one round as I can. I'm going to lift the action and pull it just a little bit forward. Take my 12-inch screwdriver. And I'm going to tap the bedding platforms on the balance rail into place. So obviously that's interesting. This the outer rail it's made of a plywood, and maybe it's spreading a little bit, but it's not quite square against the slipper track, but I need it to be touching balance and back. That will provide correct spacing for it. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the outermost bedding platform here. Push it all to there. And now I'm arbitrarily using the breaks between the sections, which do have the brackets over them, pretty much, which are points of stability in the keyframe. And well, for this, that's kind of hard to see. Whereas now I can see where that is. And I think I'll get the light out of the way. Yeah, now I can see where I am, and I know for this one, actually a little bit to the left, that one a little to the right. The Steinway B was the last action on there, and in some ways very different, in some ways divided up kind of similarly. And then take the action off, tighten everything that I know about this, and then we'll set about using our samples to first bed and adjust the shape of the front rail. Then with the kissing samples, set up the regulating rack. And please like, subscribe, or follow the link in the notes to my website.